I go out drinking with my friends because I'm a cool, friendly dude and people like me. We order 2-ingredient cocktails and tell the bartender to hold the ice. We laugh a lot. We're crazy guys. One night I said, "So tell me, Rick, what's getting in the way of your ever after?" And he said, "What, like the Drew Barrymore thing?" And I said, "No, like the finish line, what you're reaching for, what you'd like to become and stay." "Oh," said Rick, "I'd like to fuck bitches." "Forever," I said. "Forever and ever," said Rick. "Fair enough," I said. Then after a moment I said, "But don't you think that'd get messy? I mean, after a while?" "Yeah," said Rick. Okay, I said. Then Troy put on every Ween album in the jukebox and said, "Now everyone in this bar is going to have to listen to every single one of these Ween songs." There weren't many people in the bar at all. There was me, Rick, Troy, Anthony, and Eli, the bartender. "Boys, I said. I think our ambitions are maybe low. Of all the things we could be doing," I said. "Ween is a really good band," said Troy. "I know Ween is a really good band," I said. "But don't you think you'd like to play guitar or like that or write a song? I don't know. And Rick, wouldn't you like to meet a nice girl who could be your one and only?" I was standing up, 4 empty glasses collected in my hand. As I turned toward the bar, Rick eagle-clawed me, which sent the glasses to the floor, where 2 shattered and 1 cracked. The 4th just bounced, and if it broke at all, it was not visible from where I was standing. Eagle-clawing is when your friend digs his crooked fingers into your asshole through your pants. And when you're pushed forward, back arched and crotch defenseless, he hits you in the nuts with his other hand. It's hilarious. Okay, you got me, I coughed. Rick clapped for himself and rejoined the other boys in the booth. The bar we go to is called the Spinning Wheel, and Eli, the bartender, owns it, and he is used to broken glasses, especially from us. They do not faze him. I picked up the obvious pieces of the glass, and Eli swept up what was left. I tipped him. I ordered another round. 4 whiskeys and Coke, I said. "No ice." "4 whiskey and Cokes," he said. "No, 4 whiskeys and Coke," I said. "Like shots of whiskey," he said. "In Coke," I said. "4 whiskey and Cokes then," he said. "Look, Eli," I said, "it's 4 whiskeys and Coke. That's the order. That's how you order it." "When I hear that, I think 4 shots of whiskey and a Coke," he said. "Well, you think wrong, Eli," I said. He snorted. "Look," I said, "you're a great guy and a hell of a bartender, but you can't make this mistake with people who aren't me. You'll be judged." "Look," said Eli, "did you put on all this Ween?" "Did I put on all this Ween?" I said. I was a little sore about the eagle claw, and no one taking my question that seriously. I'm an anxious guy, and I'm easily convinced that the tables have turned. Most nights, people like me. Sometimes they eagle claw me and don't take me seriously, and I start to think maybe they don't like me as much as they used to. "You still like me, right, Eli?" I said. "I still like you," said Eli. He gave me 4 whiskeys and Coke with no ice. He poured them right and everything. At the end of the day, he's a good bartender, or good enough. I honestly don't know that much about Eli. When I got back to the table, the boys were quiet and looking around into the corners of the room. Ween was playing. "What about you, Anthony?" I said. I served up the drinks. "What's my favorite Drew Barrymore movie?" said Anthony. "Har har," I said. "I don't know," he said. "I've never thought about it. We're still young, you know. I'm just living." "Look," I said. "This is like an exercise. We're having a good time. This isn't a serious question. It's just a serious question. We're not talking permanent." Then the clouds rolled in. Thunder struck. Eli unfolded into an eagle. "Eli," I said. Page 4. He cawed. It was loud, but not as loud as I would have guessed. "Leave him," said Rick. "Those things are mean as shit." Eli cocked his head and examined us with his left eye, then looked away. He took a few hobbling steps toward the far end of the bar and seemed to settle there. "Shit," I said. "Maybe he's always wanted to be an eagle," said Troy. "Congrats, Eli," said Troy. They were losing focus. "Look," I said, "are we all friends?" We nodded, clinked our glasses. "Then just entertain me, okay?" I said. Eli pierced a rat working its way along the edge of the room. He tore at it as if to separate it into small pieces. "Gross," said Rick. "Look," said Anthony, "where's all this coming from?" "What?" I said. "You know what I'm talking about," said Anthony. "You've got a heavy heart." "I don't know," I said. "I'm a father now. I have a dishwasher and 2 bathrooms." "You have 1 son," said Rick. "That's hardly a thing." "But it makes you think," I said. "It makes you think," said Rick. "It makes me want to eagle claw you." Eli swallowed all the bits of rat. Ween was still playing. Look, said Troy, remember when I got shot? Yeah, we all said. Just checking, said Troy. We've lived through a lot, I said. We're a lively bunch. We're some great crew of good friends, I said. Look, said Anthony, I used to be a really good masseuse when I was younger. Not like a licensed masseuse or anything, but people used to always ask me to give them back rubs. And they were always surprised at how good I was. I think it's because I'm very attentive to other people. I know how to listen. I know how to respond to people in a genuine way. People loved my massages, so I loved giving them. And I knew a bad massage when I felt it. I was particular about them, as any young talent would be. My dad always gave horrible back rubs. Just the worst. When I was a little kid, when I was sick or stressed or something, my dad would just kind of plop his hand down, circle his open palm between my shoulders. It was supportive-ish, but not a massage. Right, said Rick. We get it. I've been married 5 years now, and my wife hates my real massages, said Anthony. She doesn't like pressure at all. She only likes it when I sort of vaguely circle my open palm on her back. No pinching or finesse. No walking the thumb and pointer finger along her spine. Just big open palm circles, just like my dad used to do, which I hated. I hate the massages I give my wife, and I'm convinced there's no way she could actually like them. My theory is they're just more ignorable than when I'm really putting in an effort. It's a compromise. Eli picked at a mite from the tip of his wing. Then Rick was a stone in the corner. Shit, I said. We were all silent then. Ween was playing. Then I said, you know what I think? I think we're finally growing up. I think we're starting to realize what it means to grow up. Anthony nodded. Troy set his drink on Rick. He patted the stone slope with his free hand. Eli beat his wings and lifted. He filled the room. His shadow was oppressive. Troy brought his beer in close to his chest, and Eli settled on the rock at our side. We were alone with Eli perched there on Rick in the booth. The bar was completely empty. Ween was playing. They were picking out the notes. I put my hand out to Eli, and he flexed his talon. You've been nothing but right by us, I told him. It was like an old war movie, and he was the aged sergeant, shot down suddenly during a moment of celebration. I always thought he might teach me something. I always thought I would learn something from you, I told him. His eyes clicked around in their sockets as he looked from one object in the room to the next. Do you boys remember Rick, said Troy. We did. Just making sure, said Troy. To Rick, said Anthony. We touched our empty glasses together and nodded. It was like an old photograph up on a mantle. Anthony got up to top us off, but on the way to the bar, he collapsed. He trembled and shook. He went still. He liquefied. Then Troy turned into a fish. He flopped from the booth and tipped himself into Anthony's current. Eli was eyeing him. Rick was heavy and silent and powerful. I was stunned and excited, sitting tall on the edge of my seat. Ween was still playing when the bar door swung open and someone else stepped in. I tilted, sort of rippled in the breeze. I could feel bits of sunlight running the length of me. Someone cast a fly into the heart of Anthony, but I couldn't make out his face. Thank you.